Welcome everyone to our Team Determined and Courageous group for this biggest Slim Down contest. I'm Cindy Roberts, and we're going to go ahead and get into this call. Our call tonight is just basically to touch base and to answer questions and to help give you guys tips and motivation and to help you succeed in this contest. So Ame and I will be answering questions and giving you helps and tips. So first off, just to kind of introduce each other, like I said, I'm Cindy Roberts, and I've been a coach since last April. And so far I have lost, let's put it this way, I've lost 50, but I've maintained about 48 pounds. So I'm just working on those last few pounds that I can go back down to my 50 and maintain that. And I've used the 21-day fix and PiYo to help me meet my goals. Ame, why don't you introduce yourself a little bit?
Okay, I'm Ame, and I joined in April. It was kind of a birthday present for myself, and I had a baby in January, and I've always had a hard time bouncing back from having kids, and so I decided this time it wasn't going to be that way, and I have lost 15 pounds in April, 4 months after having a baby. Yeah, I'm already past my pre-baby weight, so I'm excited. And I did it with just the 21-day fix, but I've also had Turbo Fire and PiYo. So those are good ones too, but I lost my 15 pounds with the 21-day fix.
Great, great. Jimmy, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you're doing. So you can unmute your line, Jimmy.
Okay, there we go. So I'm Jimmy. I met Cindy in April, and that's when I decided it was time, because after my last baby, which I was basically in the hospital for 4 weeks with broken membranes, no amniotic fluid. So I ended up in the hospital basically on my butt for 4 weeks, which, you know, when you sit on your butt for 4 weeks, you lose about everything. So my goal was to just kind of take care of my baby at that time. And then when I met Cindy, I decided it was time. I was done nursing. I was done doing all the other things. And I was like, no more excuses. I got to just do this. So I did. And so far I've lost about 20-something pounds. So
yay!
It's been good. So I started just the end of April, and I cut out all sugars completely, which I think has been the biggest thing for me, because that's the main source of my diet for the last 18 months. Yeah. I like sugar. So anyway, This has been good. I eat more vegetables and less sugar.
Good. Good. Okay. Well, those are the three of us are on the call, so hoping that others will join us. But so if others come on, we'll have them introduce themselves too. So some of the things that I wanted to cover was the topics that I asked questions about in our group today, because there was several people having issues. So I wanted to cover those because our goal is to help you be successful, and I want you to be successful. And the coach that you're working with wants you to be successful. So it's important for us to work through these issues and help you figure out the best ways that you can be successful. So the first topic I wanted to cover was planning your meals. So Jimmy, tell me, because you were one of the ones that said planning your meals was an issue. What's the issue? Tell me.
Just, I'm kind of an on-the-fly type of person, so I have a hard time. So I have a hard time planning because things happen, and I sometimes don't get the chance to get done what I want to do. So sometimes I'm like eating lunch at 12, and sometimes I'm running late and it's at 2 o'clock. And so I'm like scrambling to try to figure out how to make food. And my kids aren't used to eating a lot of vegetables yet. you know, this has been a big, huge lifestyle change for them too. So it's hard to figure out how to make a meal that's fast, that they'll eat, that I can eat.
Right. Okay.
So, and then sometimes stuff I make is stuff that I wonder how I can put it into my diet. So I don't know if it does, so I don't eat it and I eat something else.
Okay.
Go away.
He's fine. So,
Sorry.
no, that's fine. We're about families, so that's why we're here. We're doing things for our families and for us. So, okay, so maybe you and I need to have a conversation about what you do usually eat and how that can fit into your meal plan. Okay, we can.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's plan a time to do that. But some of the suggestions that I would say is one of my fast, quick, easy meals that has vegetables in it is like a chicken salad. So you can do a lot of things prep ahead of time. So I usually get a big sheet and just put my chicken on it, my chicken breasts, and season them and put them under the broiler and let them broil up on each side until they're done. And then I freeze the other chicken breasts and only have one out for me. And then I can take them out of the freezer when I need it. And then I know I always have lettuce and veggies on hand, and I can just make a quick salad. So that might be a quick, easy one that you can do ahead of time for you. One of the things that I did recently was I did freezer meals with my daughter. And the ones that we did were crock pot meals and oven meals, and made almost a whole month's worth of meals. That might be something else that you could do, is plan a day in your busy schedule, Jimmy. Really busy schedule, to plan a day that you can spend in the kitchen to cook, and then freeze it. And then you know that you have meals that you can just pull right out of the freezer, and it fits in your meal plan, and you know exactly what you can do for your meal plan that way. One of the other ways that I have overcome that is on Sunday nights or even Saturday, I take about an hour and I sit down with my cookbooks and with my meal planning sheet, the one that I posted in the group, and just start writing things in. And in that way I have a plan, and then I go shopping. And then if I don't get to it, that's okay, but I know that I have those things in my pantry and in my fridge and freezer, so that I can just pull a meal out if it doesn't, and I can switch days up. So go ahead, I already did. So that might be helpful.
Can I jump in?
Yeah, jump in, please.
Sorry. So I do the same thing, except I plan on Thursday evening, and then on Friday we go shopping. But as soon as I get home, any produce and stuff, I divvy out in my serving. So if I know I'm going to have carrots as snacks, I go and I get my little 21 Day Fix container, and I separate them out into little sandwich baggies. So, because I'm like you, I can make a plan for the whole week, but I can't always follow through with it. It just depends on my time. Right. So then at least I have something healthy I can quick grab if I need to. I grab 3 or 4 bags and I head out the door. That way I know I'm not grabbing Taco Bell or McDonald's along the way. Instead, I'm grabbing produce from my fridge.
Yeah.
Does that help, Jimmy?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, that help. And if you have any meal ideas, that's good too. Know? So just some fun meal ideas that maybe you guys do. It's always good to.
I have a bunch because I made my husband do it with me. So I'll post some in the group for everybody.
Okay.
Good. Thank you, Ame. That was one of the things I was going to suggest, is maybe we'll take a post tomorrow and say, everybody share your favorite meal. And then we'll have at least 20 different meals. Yeah. And they can be quick and easy or elaborate, so you got the whole spectrum of meals. So I think that's a good idea, Ame. Thank you. So can I put you in charge of that?
Yeah, I'm writing it down.
Good job. Thanks. Okay, so let's go to the next question, was finding time to do your workouts. This one is really important because you want to make sure that you're making an appointment with yourself. You are your most important person, and you need to make sure that if you're scheduling something that you don't miss your appointment with yourself. Just like going to the doctor or to a specialist, you wouldn't want to say, never mind. I don't want to. Especially when it's just right there at the time that you set. So make sure that you understand, or that you set yourself up for success by planning that time. I know for me, if I don't get my workout in before 7 o'clock or even 8 o'clock, if I don't get it done, then it's not going to happen. And it's hanging over me, and I'm still sitting in my workout clothes all day long, waiting for me to get my workout in. And then I just feel awful all day long, knowing that, okay, Cindy, stop what you're doing and just go put in the DVD player and push play. So for me, I have to be able to be disciplined enough to get up and make that appointment with myself. So do you have any ideas to help with that, Ame, for you? What do you find that you have to do?
For me, I think you have to definitely know what works for you. Like, if you're not a morning person, don't expect yourself to get up an hour earlier and work out. You don't have to fit it into your day. So my husband gets up at 5, and I usually will get up with him and do my workout. But he does not want to work out that early in the morning. He wants to have an easy morning. So he comes home and he'll work out around 6, right after work. So you definitely have to find what works for you. Don't push yourself to do something that you don't want to do, because then you're not going to get your workout in.
Right.
But so for me, I'm a morning person, so I don't mind it.
And that's good. Well, and see, that's why it's important to you set the time. So everyone is going to have to figure out what time that is and when is the best time, so that they can schedule it and get it in. So that's the biggest thing is don't break an appointment with yourself, because you're the very most important schedule appointment that you need to do.
Right.
Okay, so the other topic was feeling overwhelmed and stressed. This one caught me because there was times when I was just starting my journey that I would feel overwhelmed and stressed with all these decisions, and how do I make this fit, and how do I get all this food in, and I'm just overwhelmed with the idea of losing 50 pounds. To me, that was just huge. It was a big mountain. And I finally realized that I'm not climbing the mountain. I'm only climbing just the first level. So if you break down your goals so that they're not this huge thing, but they're just tiny increments. So if you're working on you don't even have to put poundage on there. And I didn't. That was my relieving the overwhelmed and stressed, was I did not put a pound on there as a goal. My goal was to work out 6 days a week. My goal was to eat my 4 proteins a day, whatever that was. So I removed the stress from the poundage, or what weight I needed to lose, so that I could remove that total overwhelming feeling of a big mountain. And then I took it one day at a time, one meal at a time, one exercise at a time. And then that helped me not feel so overwhelmed. I didn't look at the calendar and say, 30 days, what am I going to do with this 30 days? So it was a much more manageable goal of just small. One of the other things was that to get enough sleep, you need to be able to have 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night, because that's when your body is going to be processing everything. And that's where the weight loss happens, is when you're sleeping. So if you're not getting enough sleep, your body doesn't have enough time to release all of that, the fat and the weight. And then one of the other things is don't worry about yesterday. What happened in the past is okay, just let it go. And I'm looking, it's always forward vision, forward thinking, forward looking. I'm not going to worry about the decisions I made yesterday. I'll just make new decisions today and move forward. And then, and the other thing was just to make sure that I do personal development, that I read good books, that I put good thoughts in me, so that I can have successes or a mindset change is what I'm looking for. So did you have anything to add to that, Ame?
Yeah, I think the personal development is a really good idea. But I think too, if you're feeling really stressed out and overwhelmed, reach out to your coach, because your coach can definitely help you work through that and pinpoint what's really stressing you out, what's really overwhelming you. And most of the coaches have good lists of personal development books and YouTube videos to listen to also. So definitely use your coach. That's what we're here for.
Yay. Thank you for that plug. Please use us. You know, that's what we need is please use us. Okay.
Yeah.
So one of the gals that I'm working with is stressing about being discouraged with the results from last week. We had our first weigh-in yesterday morning, and some were not very happy with their results. So one of the things that I'm trying to help my people understand is that this is a journey. You're not going to start here and end up over here in a week. You're going to move to here, and then to here, then to here, then to here. It's a journey. So don't once again look back over here at this, how big it is. Do your just little tiny steps. One of the other things that you want to take a look at is if you are discouraged or you're not happy with the results, check your portion controls. Make sure you're using all of your containers, not just some. There's a false myth out there that you have to eat less in order to lose weight, and that's completely false. You actually need to eat more so that your body will lose weight. So it'll release that extra weight that it doesn't need, because it's with your exercising and the right portions, it's going to be functioning better, so it's going to use up those calories better. But if you're not feeding it, then it's not going to, your body is just not going to lose the weight because you're putting it in starvation mode. So make sure that you are eating enough. If you are doing your containers right and you are eating the proper amount of foods, then you need to push yourself harder. You need to up your weights, go up to the next level, or you need to stop using the modifier and go do the higher intensity, and just start pushing yourself a little harder. And then one of the last things that I wrote down is if you're really discouraged, put the scale away. Put it away for a week. Don't get on it for another week. That's one of my biggest things is when I did the HCG diet, I had to do my weight every day. And so that made me stress about the scale. So when I started doing Beachbody things, that was one of the things that helped me, was to put my scale away so I didn't focus totally on the numbers of the scale. And then another thing to do is to take your measurements and see if there isn't success happening in your inches, not just in what the scale says. So did you have something to add for that one, Ame?
I definitely think don't weigh yourself every day. That's where we'll get ourselves, because we hang on to water weight differently, especially in the summer. Don't weigh yourself every day. It's just gonna lessen how exciting it is when you start to actually lose weight, and it's gonna stress you out in the meantime. And then like for me, when I was doing the 21-day fix, I was 10 points away from being in the next meal calorie bracket. And so when I first started that first week, I was exhausted. I was eating everything. I was doing the workouts, but I was taking like 2 naps, 3 naps a day. And I kept blaming it on, it's because of the baby. It's because of the baby. And then I realized I'm not losing any weight. So I went ahead. I'm like, I'm 10 points away. I bumped myself up to the next bracket in the second week, and I didn't take any naps. And all of a sudden I was losing weight. So it's really important you're getting all the nutrients that you need. I could have been anywhere in between the 2 brackets, but I was so close that for my body to actually lose weight, I needed to be in the higher bracket. So it's important. Make sure you're getting what you need.
Good. Thank you. And when you talked about water retention, there's also that one time in every woman's month that things are not going to be right either, because you'll be bloating and retaining water. So that week, don't worry about it. We'll just throw that week away. Because I've had other gals ask me questions, and I said, well, why doesn't anybody talk about that? And, okay, I'm going to talk about it. So if there's any men listening to this recording, sorry, but understand that we have to deal with this. So during that week, just eat and exercise and do the best you can, and know that it'll work out in the end. So, okay. And then the last thing was motivation. Ame, why don't you go ahead and share what you had for that one?
So I think motivation's a huge deal. And for me personally, that's where I'm lacking the most. And I think for motivation, for me specifically, the money, I don't like that I might potentially lose my $20. So I'm going to work my butt off and get my money back. But I found doing these challenges, I need the social portion. I need the support group. Like doing it with my husband, it was fun to cheer each other on and everything. And then now in the group, I can do the same thing with everybody in here. And if you need specific motivation, if you need someone to say, "Hey, good job," tell us. We're more than willing to say, "Hey, good job." We try to get everybody, but if you need more, we'll give you more. And then one thing I like to do too is I look up motivational quotes. And so I'll write them on sticky notes and I'll leave them everywhere. I'm like on my mirror, I use a dry erase marker and I write a little quote, every morning, or maybe every other day, just to kind of keep me going. I do a lot of the mantra stuff where I can do this. I can do this. I think I can. Look, I did, so I think it's very important, and it's another one of those things. Let us know if your motivation is lacking, and we'll help you figure it out. Are you money motivated? Are you prize motivated? I know one of my challenge participants, her husband said that she'll take her on a cruise if she loses her weight. So there's, whatever motivates you, let us know. We'll see how we can help you. If we need to put a nudge in with the husband, we can do that.
Good, thank you. One of the things that I wanted to reemphasize too is that we talked about in the beginning of the challenge group was remembering your why. Why are you doing this? If it's because of your children, put a picture in front of you of your children every day, or put it next to your TV so when you're exercising you can look at your family. If you're doing it because you have a high school reunion coming up and you want to look nice for that, put a picture up there. But even write out your why. Figure out your why so that you don't have to wonder why you're doing something. Why do I have to eat healthy? Why am I not going to eat this cookie? Why am I doing this exercise? Why do I have to drink all this water? But if you remember your why, then it won't be so hard to get up off the couch and do something. So that was a big motivator for me, was to remember my why. And just a quick story, because I know we're running out of time. I didn't want this to be a very long call. But last night for our family, that we do a family home evening on Monday nights, we went to the pool. And mind you, I can swim, but it's not something that I would normally want to just go and do, because I never felt like I could do anything in the pool. But last night, I got to play with my kids. We played keep away, and the teams was my husband and me and our 3 kids that we still have at home. And I was chasing my kids in the pool, knocking the ball out of their hands. I threw the ball, to my husband, and I also went and jumped off the diving board, the high dive, twice. For me, that's huge because I don't like heights. But anyway, I talked to my husband afterwards, and he said, "Cindy, you're different." And I said, "What do you mean?" And he said, "It's like you've got your second wind and you have more confidence and you're able to do things." And I never thought I would have that said to me. So for me, that was huge. So finding your motivation, finding your why. Playing with my kids is my why. I want to play with my kids. I want to play with my grandkids. I'm 52, but I still have an 11-year-old at home. So, for me, I still have years left of wanting to play with my children. But anyway, so find your why. Go back to your why. Practice your why. Put your why in front of you, and that will keep you motivated. So, Jimmy, do you have anything you want to add?
No, not really. It's been good to listen to the whys. I look forward to that time when I can go to the pool, because I love swimming, but I hate going because I look like a beached whale.
I know that, and that I couldn't find a swimsuit, so I had to borrow my husband's military shorts and a t-shirt, and because I don't have a swimming suit, because I only have my beached whale one. So yeah, I get it totally. So do you have any questions for us that we can answer for you, Jimmy?
No, I think that you answered most of them.
Okay.
It's good. Lots of things. You know, I tend to be the one that thinks I have to eat less, and if I eat, I feel guilty because I feel like I'm gonna overeat.
Right.
And there are lots of times when I'll sit up and I'll eat the full portion, and I feel really full.
Yeah.
So it's tough.
Okay.
So and then I just need to make sure I eat more often, like I was when I was at school. It was easier to eat more often at school, believe it or not.
Yeah. Well, because you have that time frame, you know, you've only got class for so long and then you can take a snack. So,
Yeah.
so with it being summer hours, you might need to rethink your schedule of the day. And I even had to set a timer on my phone. So every 2 hours, 2.5 hours, I get this beep, 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 eat, eat, eat. So, you know, to remind me to eat, which I think is actually funny that I have to do that. So
I know. Well, I found out yesterday, I'm sitting there painting my house because I'm repainting, and I didn't want to stop because I didn't want to take the time to stop to go and eat. But I'm thinking to myself, I know I need to go eat. If I don't go eat, I'm just going to regret it. It's just going to cause problems. But I didn't want to stop to eat. And it's usually just the opposite. It's usually I'm trying to think, you know, I'm living from one food to the next. Oh, I'm hungry. What am I going to eat? And now I'm not hungry, and I'm saying, oh, I got to go eat. So it's kind of reversed, and it's kind of odd to think about it that way.
right. Well, and you might even incorporate the help of your family and do the timer on your phone and say, okay, when this goes off, you have to help me make sure that I stop doing what I'm doing so I can go eat, and incorporate your family's help. Because my kids, they hear my alarm going off, Mom, go eat. Okay. So family is biggest supporters. So incorporate their help. So, okay, well, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Do you have anything else you want to add, Ame?
No, I think I'm good. I think we covered everything.
Okay, good. So for those that are watching the recording, if you have questions, please reach out to your coach, or even post it in the group in the comment section, or and we'll try to help you as much as we can. So let's look forward to next week. We're going to just go one day at a time, one meal at a time, one exercise at a time, and move forward one step at a time. So let's just look at one day and not worry about the big mountain that we're climbing. So, so good luck, everyone. keep pressing forward. We're going to do this. We got it. So have a good night, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.